Welcome to Good Morning Akron, everyone. I'm your host, Sarah, and today I get to hang out with Chase Jones. Chase, how are you today?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
I am good. And Chase is the pastor of the Corners Chapel.
Yes.
And also just opened the Ministry Center.
Yes.
And that is in Northfield, Ohio, right?
That's right. That's right. So,
so let's talk a little bit just about you first.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
yeah, so I'm originally from Northeast Ohio, and so I grew up right around Cuyahoga Falls, Peninsula area, and so my wife and I, we moved down to Dallas, Texas for a little bit, and then moved back just a few years ago to start a church in Macedonia.
And I know you're a huge Browns fan. How are you feeling about the Browns right now?
I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this for years.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So I want to hear more about the Ministry Center because that's brand new. You guys just opened when?
We actually just opened about 2 weeks ago. And so in the middle of December is when we officially had our grand opening. And like you said, it's called the Ministry Center. It's in Northfield, and it's an extension of our church.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about that and what that's going to entail. I know really what you want is it to be like a beacon of light for the community, right?
Yes,
and just be able to invite people in. You had shared even partnering with the emergency services in your community and be able to provide things for people. So share with us.
Yeah, well, so our church, we're a portable church, means we don't have our own building. And so we meet at the Nordonia High School. But we didn't want to just be closed in and just focused on ourselves. And we wanted to be able to be a blessing to the community and have community collections and work with the emergency services and emergency assistance center and all of that. And so we decided to renovate an old pet shop.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and turn it into a ministry center where we can do, one, we have our office spaces there, but also where we can do collections. And we just finished a hygiene collection for the community where we collected a bunch of hygiene items, and we want to do more things like that.
That's wonderful. And you said you also want it to be a place where people can just come and hang out,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. So the ministry center, it's kind of divided into some different sections. So we have our offices in the back, and in the front, we want it to feel very much like a coffee shop. And so just a place that people can come and get work done, meet with friends, things like that.
So Chase, why do you want to do this? Why are you passionate about serving your community in this way and also about being a pastor?
Yeah, well, I'll start with the first part. One, my wife and I, when we moved back into the community, we realized in Northfield, there really wasn't a place that people could just come and hang out, and there really wasn't anything like that there. And so we said, hey, let's see if the Lord can use us to be a blessing to the community this way. And so we were just kind of walking around in the Northfield Plaza one day and just kind of looking through the windows of some of the vacant areas. And this man came up and said, hey, can I help you guys? And he ended up being the owner of the plaza.
Oh, wow.
And so it was just perfect timing.
That was perfect, yeah.
We told him what we were looking to do. And he said, hey, there's this old pet shop where they just moved out. And so we spent the last several months renovating and painting and transforming it into a ministry center. And the second part of the question, why do I want to be a pastor?
Yeah, why are you passionate about that?
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the community in all of Northeast Ohio, really in the whole world, that are hurting, many that are hurting silently. And I just want to be able to speak with people and to help people who are hurting and walk them through that process.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. So tell us a little bit about your church. So Corners Chapel, I know from the backstory that you kind of revamped it, have a new name fairly recently. So tell us a little bit about your church, where you guys are located if someone's watching this and they live nearby and they might want to come check it out.
Absolutely. So our church is called the Corners Chapel. And we say that because we want all the corners of the world to know the name of Jesus. And that's kind of our mission statement.
Doesn't it have like does it have like a local?
It does have a local tie. Yeah, not a lot of people know Macedonia, before it was called Macedonia, was called the Corners.
Okay. I thought so. I thought it had some kind of local tie. So that's cool.
That's a little known fact there.
That's fun.
But we started about 3 years ago. And so we launched the church out of the chapel in Akron.
Okay.
And we were called the Chapel Nordonia for a while. And then we just changed our name to the Corners Chapel about a year ago. And so we've been meeting at the Nordonia High School ever since.
Right at the high school. That's great. What time? What day? I know most people know what day, but we might as well just share.
We meet Sundays at 10:30 in the morning.
Great.
And so we get there early, set everything up, and then tear it all down. And the goal is that no one will know we're there when we left.
What kind of church is it? If someone's like, hey, I want to know just a little bit more about it. What kind of church?
Yeah, well, we always say we're gospel-centered, multi-ethnic, multi-generational.
Oh, I love that.
Nordonia is right. We're on the convergence of a lot of different highways, a lot of different communities, and so we strive to be multi-ethnic, and then also for every generation as well.
Yeah. So you had told me earlier that you wanted to share a little bit more of the backstory of the ministry center. Let's go ahead and just back it up a little bit and let's share some of that backstory.
Yeah, well, in 2020, when everything was shut down, churches were trying to figure out what in the world can we do.
Right.
That was the year we had just started, and we're a portable church, and so we didn't have a location, and so we actually looked in that Northfield Plaza originally, and we were thinking maybe we can have some sort of coffee shop that's also a church or something, and it's amazing because now 3 years later we're in that same plaza that we were looking at 3 years ago, and
That's
it's different
kind of
circumstances, but it's really
but it was something you were thinking about and then kind of came to fruition, which is a lot of fun.
Exactly.
All right. So if people want to find you, do you have social media? Do you have a website? Go ahead and share all of that stuff.
So everything is the Corners Chapel. So thecornerschapel.com or the Corners Chapel on all the social media platforms. And on our website, there's a tab to the Ministry Center that has all of our hours and the address for the Ministry Center and all of that as well.
That's wonderful. And if someone wants to directly follow you, can they do that as well? Can you share that?
They can. That's right. So on Instagram and Twitter, I'm What's Up Chase.
Nice.
And so that's the name there. And then on YouTube, I used to do a lot on YouTube and want to do some more. But it's Chase Jones 75.
Yeah, you do some good stuff on YouTube. You should get back on there. It's fun. It's really fun. But I understand that your job is very busy and you have a lot going on. That's so you were saying one of your goals is helping hurting people. Yes. So let's kind of tie up with that. Let's give like a little encouragement to someone who's out there and maybe is watching this right now and is hurting.
Yep. Well, one of the things that I've been able to really kind of communicate with people is that whatever people are going through, they're not the only ones that have gone through that. And so I think it's really important that we don't suffer silently, and so that we communicate with others what we're going through, whether that's a church, whether that's any other organization, because that's the only way that we can get that help that we need.
Right. And just coming together as a community, right? Exactly. So yeah, we don't want to suffer alone. We want to be with people. We want to show people that, we want to engage with them. We want to know where they're at and listen to them. So that's really great.
To try and remove the stigma of hurting, because we all go through difficult times.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. One more time as we wrap up, just your website.
Yes.
And share that.
Thecornerschapel.com.
Perfect.
And so that's where all the information is on there for the Ministry Center, for our church hours, everything. And I always want to emphasize it's with an S, the Corners.
Corners with an S. We got it.
Corners Chapel.
And if you guys want to come check it out, like Chase said earlier, you actually can come on Sundays at 10:30 to the Corners Chapel. Or if you just want to stop in the Ministry Center, they have a link on their website there. And maybe you'll even get to hang out with Chase a little bit. You never know. He might be there. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. We had a great morning here on Good Morning Akron. And make sure you stay tuned because we've got more great stuff coming up next.